Hi guys, it's Commodity Lives that you've tuned into on Money Control. I'm Karunya Rao. With me is Manisha Gupta. Hi Manisha, and today the spotlight is on cotton prices, which are on the rise like everything else. Tell us what's happening.
Oh, well, yes, Karunya. And you know what? Somehow the government seem to be intervening a lot in commodities nowadays to ensure that the prices do not run up too much. But that doesn't really seem to be helping a lot of commodities. I mean, we've seen Indonesia come out and try to curb prices when it comes to their edible oil, which is palm oil. And now we've seen Indian government talk about cotton as well. If you look at the last 1 year, the Indian cotton prices have doubled in price. And in the international markets, we are one of the most expensive cottons now. So the exports perhaps may not happen as much. But what we are hearing right now is that the Indian government could be looking at options of putting restrictions when it comes to exports, or they even could be coming out with a temporary ban because right now the sowing is on and the new crop would only come in by August and peak down around October. So until then, there is not so much cotton into the markets, and the expectations are that if we continue to look at the current stock of cotton that we have, the prices may just about continue. And we are looking at the Indian cotton prices running up even after the government has removed the 10% import duty, even as the Indian government has been trying to talk down a lot of commodity prices. But cotton, clearly, because it's not an essential commodity, but it is the life support of overall textile as an industry in the Indian markets. There are perhaps concerns continuing into the market. There are mills who are threatening shutdown. The yarn companies say that they will have to continue to increase prices for textiles there because the raw material itself is so expensive. So yes, there are concerns when you look at the overall supply chain here.
What does this mean now for textile companies? What's the recourse they're likely to take? More price hikes when it comes to fabric and raw materials that they supply to, perhaps clothing companies, etc.
It sure looks like that, Karunya, because the industry was looking at expectations because Sri Lanka, which is again a very important apparel exporter, with the kind of economic and civic unrest there, the expectation that was that India perhaps could be looking at higher exports and could be looking at those markets which Sri Lanka services right now. But with the kind of cotton price rise that we have seen in the Indian markets, that seems a bit of a difficulty. For the cotton exports itself, last year was 75 lakh bales. This time, the expectation is that we could be exporting just about 45 lakh bales. One, the carry forward stock is not so much. Second, the prices are not competitive as they were in the previous year. So, while not just about cotton, but the textile itself seems to be, as an industry, looking at some concerns right now. Yes, we would be looking at higher apparel prices going forward. We could be looking at not so competitive markets going forward. And the fact being that we are looking at yarn companies not looking at much profit and they are passing on their cost to textile companies. Textile companies will pass that cost to customers, is what we are really looking at as a chain effect right now.
Okay. Are we likely to see this trend sustain of higher cotton prices?
We are, Karunya, because as I said, the new crop will only start coming in from August and peaks by the time it's October. So now until August, there is no new cotton that is coming into the market. And even as government has done away with the 11% import duty until the 30th of September. So even if I start importing now, even if I start contracting for imports now, that cotton would only come in after 2 months. So the next 2 months are the period that you are looking at higher raw material prices for sure. So whatever steps that are going to be taken, whether it's a temporary ban or doing away with import duty, as we've seen, are we looking at prices coming off? No, we haven't seen that. Even after everything that the government is saying or threatening or doing, have the cotton prices corrected today? No, they haven't.
Okay, well, what can we say and what can we do but just look at all these prices soar away. But thanks for joining in with this update as far as cotton is concerned. Let's see how soon do we see more price hikes coming in by retailers and by apparel manufacturers. But this is how things are looking for now. At least till August, no new cotton in supply, and prices may continue to rise. Thanks once again for tuning in.